For thousands of families across the state, their lives were shaken up when the coronavirus made its way into Minnesota. Parents transitioned to working from home, schools cleared out, and educators and their students developed a new way of learning.
This is new, and they're maybe scared or worried about how does this work, but we wanted to do our best to stay at that quality level of education.
Since March 18th, students have been doing distance learning from home. Tonight, we begin our week-long series, an ABC 6 News joint reporting project with the Post Bulletin. Right now, ABC 6 News anchor Laura Lee joins us in studio to kick off the series, School at Home.
For the past couple of weeks, we have focused heavily on the struggles of educating in the midst of a pandemic. How does it look like for families? How is it working for teachers? And a sad but realistic thought, how long will this new way of learning last? We begin tonight in our week-long series called School at Home, focusing on families and the challenges they face.
Day one. I did a trial run of distance learning today with my teachers, and it was quite smooth.
For John Marshall Sr., Lab Nguyen, journaling his experience helps to process the reality.
The transition was particularly difficult.
Lab joins thousands of other students across the region learning from home.
That's what I did. Okay, that's okay.
This after Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced the closure of schools across the state, including Rochester Public Schools.
That made it real.
These halls have been empty since March 18th. Superintendent Michael Munoz says his district was given 8 days to come up with a distance learning plan to meet the needs of more than 18,000 K-12 students.
A number one priority is relationships and making sure our students and families are okay.
Families like the Nguyen's, where English is the second language.
Day 30. I've been trying to keep up with assignments, but the distractions are still real.
Lap taking on an even bigger assignment at home.
Just when
helping his parents teach his 9-year-old brother
get any worse,
who has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
The biggest concern, and I think it goes to all kind of immigrant families here, is to be able to teach content that is not in the language that they're familiar with.
Both of his parents speak very little English. Acting as our translator, we break the ice by sharing a laugh about mom's added role. Those mom jobs, they don't stop.
Yeah.
And now you have to add teacher to the mix. How is that for both mom and dad?
It has been very busy, very busy. She was worried that it would not be kind of to the same standards because teachers, they are trained and they have the creativity to do all these projects to help the kids learn.
A concern another mother across town wasn't too worried about with her kids.
How was science? I feel like we're in that kind of a sweet spot where they're fairly self-sufficient.
The family of 4 have spent the past 2 months essentially together.
We're really lucky because we all get along pretty well.
Mom and dad working from home, and 14-year-old Claire and 12-year-old Trigvi doing schoolwork.
You don't have any meets today?
From the same dining table.
For our life to go from 60 to 0 in, just a couple days was really kind of crazy.
Church gatherings to extracurricular activities like volleyball and soccer, even field trips to Washington, D.C., all canceled.
I think people underestimate how lonely it can be, even though we're in our house with 3 other people. But it's just, you're not getting the normal interactions. Each of the 4 of us have had our days, like the bad days, right? But so far, it hasn't been all 4 of us on the same day.
And Mom says those bad days are okay.
This is new, and they're maybe scared or worried about how does this work.
District leaders and teachers can relate.
It's like, people say, building that plane as you're up in the air.
Navigating a virtual curriculum on the fly.
We wanted to do our best to stay at that quality level of education. And I'm not going to lie to you, I know it's not at that same level. It's just impossible to do.
Because each household and each family dynamic is different.
Day 44. We're nearing the 2-month mark and things have been flowing quite smoothly. There's no more school for the rest of the year though. That's kind of sad.
Despite missing major milestones like prom and graduation, Lapp says it's simply the classroom environment
Good about us coming today?
that he misses the most.
Having that social interaction is critical for students to be able to learn and to enjoy what they're learning.
Perhaps the most important lesson to be learned for every student during this pandemic
I learned gravity back.
can't be taught from any computer.
Day 50. I just hope that there's going to be a graduation. We picked up our cap and gowns today, though, so here's to hoping.
Hoping with just a few weeks left to distance learning, he can say goodbye to his fellow classmates and teachers in person.
I just hope I can start a new chapter of my life, at least with a sense of normalcy.
A gift every student and teacher deserves. School districts say they have not finalized their graduation plans just yet, but many say they do plan to honor their class of 2020. As for Lapp, he says he's excited to be starting at Harvard University, hopefully on campus in the fall.
You will find deeper coverage of this story at postbulletin.com and in Monday's print edition of the Post Bulletin. Tune in tomorrow night for part 2 of our School from Home series, where we turn the attention to teachers and the important roles they play.